I took this client's 30 USD account and flipped it to over 600 USD trading VIX 50S, step index and VIX 50 index. So stay tuned to learn how you can do it as well. If you're watching this on TikTok, click right over here to head to my YouTube channel. If you're watching this on Facebook, click this link to get to my YouTube channel, or go over to YouTube and type prime_fx, because that's where you can finish this video and also watch more complete videos. Let's get this video to over 400 likes, and I know I've never asked for 400 likes, so let's get it and let's get to analyzing. So there is the 30 USD that was deposited, and we start off with VIX 50S, and on the weekly chart we get to see the price did a break of structure below that high time frame low, and then it went back inside the range to sort of grab liquidity right there. I think that was the equilibrium. Now it started tumbling down, and we don't know if we should buy it or sell it, but we have to look at that range when it was now dropping down, what we should do with it. Now on the daily, we can see inside the range, price did give us a wipe above that high, and then it dropped down after, it did a wipe and then it hit the daily order block, and then after it hit the daily order block, it dropped down. Now you can see that it was an aggressive move down, and then it managed to break structure below the low of this high time frame low, and then after it sort of broke structure, it also sort of grabbed liquidity below there, went back inside the range and gave us a stop hunt. So it did not take time above that high, gave us a stop hunt, and if we look deeper right there, we can see that it hit the 4-hour order block. I think, you can clearly see the 4-hour order block, and if I stretch it out right now, it made a clean respect. I don't know, maybe it might have not hit it, but it was a sort of like a clean respect of the 4-hour order block, but it was inside the daily order block. So it made a stop and hit the daily order block, and if you zoom into the 4-hour chart, it gave us a BOS before that. So now we can see that it's sort of giving us a reversal right there on the smaller time frame, because it broke structure above that high, and then it now gave us a max structure shift. Now it's sort of like now it wants to continue selling down like the main time frame, like the high time frame is indicating, and then when it went up, it hit the 4-hour order block. It continued to drop down, giving us a break of structure, and now where we are going to be selling is after price gave us that trade, it went back inside the range and it's going to sort of fill the fair value gap, and then immediately after it fills that fair value gap, we're going to of course want to sell with it. Now this is how simple it is. Price is more likely going to hit that 4-hour order block, and then it will drop down from there. That's basically our sort of position, our bias. We want to continue selling with this thing. Now where exactly are we going to be placing our sell limits? And I think it's right above that 1-hour order block where there is internal buy side liquidity. So what I think price has to do is sort of just wipe that high, sort of give us a wipe or a stop hunt, and then it drops down. I know in this video I did not vividly mark out some of these interest points in this zone. I don't know why. Maybe I was in a rush and I could not sort of highlight where I was selling, but I had in mind, based from my experience, I knew price was going to sort of give us a liquidity grab or a wipe or a stop and right above that high, and then it would drop down from there. So I started placing my sell limits right above there, so that I knew price was not going to spend a lot of time there, so it's just going to grab and then drop afterwards. And I pegged with a 30 years the account. I think I went in quite aggressive. It wasn't really that bad. I just wanted to grow it maybe to like 100, over 100, and then we'll see what I should do afterwards. So we'll have to see after some hours what price did. So this is after some time. I think it was after few hours, some hours, it was after quite some time, and I had went off grid. So basically this is a bad execution, but it was a sweet trade. I did not execute this trade properly because it went into profits. Like I could see, like, okay, we're in about 100 plus profit margin, and then when I came back and then I started recording, I was like, it was returning back to our sell, to our sell level. Now at this time I was like, should I leave it? But then I knew it might continue buying up, so I decided to close right about here because I had given up on the trade. I had already failed to execute it properly because we could have closed in around 130 plus balance, but then I had to close at 72 USD because I knew we eventually find another setup to trade. So we move to step index. Now we continue step index with our 72 USD account. You can clearly see right there is the history, and then on to the analysis. Right now what I want to do is to execute first, like to place my trades, and then I show you guys my bias or analysis later. So right here I entered about 0.7, so these are 70.1, and that's actually pretty strong on a 72 USD account, and you can clearly see right there that we executed it. My stop loss was above that high, but we'll talk about it on during the analysis. Now I think I covered the step index during this week. I was buying, and you guys must be wondering why I'm now selling, so we have to go about it right now. So we start off the analysis on a weekly time frame, and then down to the smallest time frame we can go. Now on the weekly chart we can see price did a BOS or a liquidity grab, and then it returned back into the range, and of course you can see it was respecting bullish interest points. So it first filled the fair value gap, and then it hit the weekly order block, and it continued to shoot up to give us a break of structure above that high. Now by the books, what it has to do is to return back to the weekly OB and then continue shooting up, but I had a different sort of perspective right now, and I'll show you later. So within the range, what price did is it gave us a wipe, and then it continues shooting up. So it broke structure above that high, and it also broke structure above that main high. So now it came back down to the rejection block, and it already reacted off of the rejection block, but I think it has to continue dropping down to the daily order block below that low. So I'm still with the buy, but I just don't think it's going to buy right there, so I'm going to sell it right now. Price respected that bearish daily order block right there, and you can see if we look on the 4-hour chart that daily order block is in line with the 4-hour mitigation block, and price nicely respected that mitigation block, and it's tumbling down right now. So we have to capture the sell with it. Now price gave us a wipe above that high, and after it gave us a wipe, it respected the 4-hour bearish order block, and it continued to drop down to give us a BOS, confirming the sell. Went back into the range, and you can see it reacted off of the rejection block, and then continued drop down again and confirmed our sell. It kept on dropping down, gave us a break of structure. Now right now we're at a bullish 4-hour order block. So what price has to do is to return back, and you can see right now it gave us sort of a BOS again. So because there's a bullish 4-hour order block, price has to return back into the range, and then we have to that's where we can capture our sell. So right at the 30-minute mitigation, yes, it's not a 30-minute order block because that's the 30-minute order block right there. That 30-minute mitigation, price has to drop down right around that level, and as you can see, it has hit the 30-minute order block. Now that's our trend line liquidity that I think price has to reach for, and the destination of course is the daily order block, or where I think price will start moving up or continuing the upward movement from. Now that's basically my bias where I will be selling. So of course it might react off of the weekly rejection block, but we'll see that after. Now I've already placed my sell positions based off of the 30-minute order block and 30-minute mitigation, and you can see right now, yeah, we're a bit early. We're quite early. I think we should have waited for it to reach for the 30-minute order block. So yeah, I rushed it a bit. I should have actually finished analyzing and then entering right there. It could have been a nice sweeter entry. So wait for afterwards. Now after some time, this trade became messy. It was now annoying me. I had to hold for almost 2 swings, were bleeding, and then when it finally went into profits, this is when I decided, let me just shoot and close this trade. We didn't make too much profit off of it. We made like 30 USD, which places us at 100 USD. So from 30 to 100, yeah, it's decent, but price kept on dropping down. Surprisingly, I shouldn't have left, but still I left also because of our next setup, which is VIX 50 index. So moving on to VIX 50 index, we have to see how we will profit off of it. Now on to VIX 50 index. I'm going to do what I did on step index where I sell. Of course, we are continuing with the 100 USD account. You can see right there. I'm going to first enter the positions. I was a seller right now, so you know for sure I was bearish, and then later I'll cover why I am selling. Now before I get to analyzing, I want to tell you guys again, just like step index, it had a buy, sort of a buy bias, but I was selling it sort of, was it a counter trend? I'll explain why I was selling it as we go. Now on the weekly chart, we can see that price broke structure below the low, then it dropped down again to give us sort of a white below, stop hand below that low, and then it hit the weekly bullish order block. Now after it hit the weekly order block, we have to zoom onto the daily chart to see what it did, and on the daily chart we can see price gave us a confirmation, like a change of character. That's our change of character, and then that change of character, it's powerful. You can see how it gave us a change of character. It went on to buy to break structure above that high. So when it returns back down, it has to feel sort of the expansion or imbalance it created when it was shooting up. So we know for sure it had to respect that daily mitigation or breaker block right there. Now after it hit the breaker block, it continued to shoot up, and then it broke structure above that high, and after it broke structure above that high, it went on to break structure above that main high. So by the books, again, like I tell you guys, it has to drop down and then respect the weekly bullish order block. So this weekly bullish order block, there's a fair value gap above it, and then there's of course the bullish order block right below it. Now it has to shoot up. That's what I see. It has to shoot up, but I'm selling it because we're getting to it. Now if we zoom onto the daily chart again, we can see price right there. Before it hit the weekly order block, it gave us sort of our BOS. Now that's an interesting point right there, because after price tapped the daily order block, there's the first daily order block, it did not respect cleanly right off. It went down onto our second daily order block, but it did not hit the body of the second daily order block. But what I was thinking right now is it has to reach down to the second daily order block and then continue moving up, but that wasn't quite the case because it wiped. So if I stretch this trend line out, you can see it gave us a liquidity grab below the first daily OB or that low, then it gave us a wipe. Now after that, it confirmed by giving us a change of character right there, and then of course after it gave us a change of character, it went on to respect our 4-hour order block. So after it respected the 4-hour order block, it continues to, you know, just continue moving up. Now what's interesting right there, and on the 1 hour, I'm going to show you, it broke structure right there, hit the 4 hour order block, and then it had a nice momentum up to break structure or confirm the buy. Now that small imbalance it created, or expansion, is what we're focusing on in this setup, because price goes and then it hit the mitigation block, and right now it's respecting. We can see on the 30 minutes it already gave us that stop hunt right there. I did not, you know, note it down, but it gave us a stop hunt, and then it confirmed by giving us sort of a BOS below that low. Now they gave us a BOS, went back into the range and rated that high, filled the fair value gap, and what's left is for price to drop down to the imbalance that I told you guys about. Like, there's a small imbalance that price gave us after it gave us a change of character. So right now what I'm thinking is, of course, price nicely rebalances this fair value gap, and then it has to reach for the sell side liquidity. This is on a 30-minute time frame. It's a good enough move for it to drop down to fill the imbalance. So this is the main reason why I was selling. It has to reach down for the imbalance, and then if it taps the 1 hour or 4 hour order block, it can continue moving up. Like I said in the beginning of this setup, it has to shoot up, so it can respect the 4 hour or the 1 hour order block. Whatever it respects, it has to continue moving up. But for now, I was sort of in a, should I say, a counter trend, because I was trading down, but I don't think I was willing to buy it, because I had my suspicion. But the main reason I was selling is because of that imbalance, and I was also suspicious of it respecting the should I say the imbalance or the 4 hour order block on the 1 hour order block. So now, like, I had already placed my sell positions, and we have to see what happens after quite some time. Now, after some time, as this trade progressed, it gave us sort of, should I say, a leg while it was dropping down, and I had confidence it has to keep on shooting down. So I just decided I want you guys to just analyze right now, pause the video, and then check from the 5-minute chart, or if I move on to the 5-minute chart, why I ended up, you know, placing my re-entry right there. It's quite obvious. So yeah, I did not make the analysis for you guys. I think it was easy, or because I had already sold, I can just add more sell positions. I don't need to find a confirmation. It was already dropping down, it was already dropping down, so I just had to place more sell positions right there, and then we have to see what happens, because price has to dip down there to fill the fair value gap. So I hope for the best, and you can see that would be nice. We'll be in some nice profits if it does reach for the imbalance. So we have to see what happens afterwards. Now you can clearly see it had a huge massive drop down, and we had clean entries from the first execution and the second one. Price did not move back up. Now we're in some nice profits. 500 USD profit, that's some huge profit right there. 600 USD equity from just 100 USD. That's some good amount of profit. So right about now, I think I was satisfied. It was also at our 1 hour order block, like the final interest points where I thought price has to respect. So yeah, about now I decided it was actually moving back up. I decided to close at around 590, 587. I should have closed it. You know, it just hurts a bit that you did not close at 600. But yeah, from 30 USD to 600 USD, I'm just rounding it off. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe if you haven't. Or see you guys on the next video. Deuces.